You're being sued for custody and child support.
I take 2 steps forward and I get knocked 10 steps back.
We're gonna fight this, okay?
Fatima, you all right?
I'm not fighting nobody, but I'm also not negotiating.
Cancer spreading.
Get me out of here, please!
Well, folks, man, that season 4 trailer was something else. And I know you've been blowing up the messages, the comments. Where's the breakdown? Folks, here it is. I know it's a bit later than you would have expected it to be. And I know people are like, look, Jeremy, I keep refreshing the channel all day. Where's the trailer breakdown? Well, it took a while because this trailer was just so many moving parts. And I think I did the best I could putting together a concrete breakdown. Hey, you know what to expect from me, right? So here's the thing. If you've been on the channel long enough, you know how this works. But if you are new or you aren't, really aware of like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be a trailer breakdown. How come he didn't play the full trailer? Copyright, folks. I can only play like 25 to 30 seconds. All right. So what I'm going to do in the comment section below, I left a link directly to BET Plus's YouTube account. Matter of fact, the link is going to take you directly to the trailer. My advice, click on that link. It's going to be in a comment that I pinned to the top comment there. Go down, click the link, watch the full trailer. But then again, to be completely honest, I think everybody watching this video right now has already seen the trailer, but go check it out again. And then you come right back here. All right. That way we can break it down piece by piece. So, September 11th is when this show comes back to BET Plus. And man, it is going to be a doozy. Now, assuming it is the same 20 episode structure as the past couple seasons, September 11th, 18th, 25th, October 2nd, and October 9th. So assuming we get 10 episodes in the first half of the season, 2 episodes per week, that means the mid-season finale is October 9th. And that fuels speculation that, Divorced Sisters, the back half of season 1, will probably come back sometime in, I don't know, October, November, give or take. So, where do I begin with this one? It's a lot to take in. Oh, also, disclaimer, I know there are a lot of photos from Zatima season 4 floating around the internet. Personally, that is fair game in my personal code of conduct, so to speak, of what I do and don't cover on the channel. Those photos are everywhere. So they hint at certain things, like a certain character who's going to be in jail, possibly rocking a fake baby bump. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Another character, well, actually, some intimate Zach and Fatima moments, like Zach putting together a crib. Angela and Fatima are at like a yoga class. I am not covering those photos in this video. This video is strictly dedicated to the trailer. So if you want me to do videos on those other photos, I will, just not right now. I will later this week. It's only Tuesday, people. I got time. So, without further ado, because I know you're ready, like, Jeremy, shut up and get to it. We're going to talk about this trailer from start to finish, top to bottom. I got my notes here, all the dialogue. Notes on every freaking scene, because I had to watch this thing in slow motion twice to make sure I didn't miss anything, because there were a lot of literal blink and you miss it moments. No, matter of fact, there were so many moments in this trailer, like if you halfway blinked, boom, you missed it. And there were like 4 things I didn't catch during my first 2 viewings of it. And if in the off chance I missed anything, let me know in the comments. All right. Okay, so before we move forward, please make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like this video. Hit subscribe. Remember, my birthday is August 29th. I turned 34. We are less than 4,000 people away from 300,000 subscribers on this channel. So please, please, please hit subscribe if you have not done so. hit notification bell and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. And follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. So, let's dive in. Yesterday, we got the sneak peek teaser for this trailer, confirming that the person that Big Repo shot at the end of season 3, during the big brawl, during the Miss Gladys's funeral repast, was Fatima Wilson Taylor. She is down. What a way to start this season. Now, a lot of people feel conflicted about this, and I can understand why. Honestly, at this point, you know, when I think about this entire trailer in a nutshell, it low-key feels like Zatima should have the tagline, Tyler Perry Zatima. How much can one man take? Because Zach be going through it, and he's going to be going through it even more in this season. Because, and look, according to Mr. Courtney, I did see a tweet or comment. Somebody asked like, hey, when is Zatima season 4 supposed to take place between, like, you know, the events of Sistas and season 3 of Zatima? And he said somewhere in between. So in my personal opinion, a writer slash producer of the show going out of their way to indicate as to when they think events of a show takes place within the timeline of events, I believe is yet further confirmation. Yeah, this show and Sisters are connected. Y'all tripping if you think otherwise. So I'm just sitting up here thinking like fans of Sisters who are like, yes, Karen lost Zach's baby. He's free. He doesn't have to worry about drama. But when you watch the Zatima season 4 trailer, it's like, oh, here we go again. Now, Fatima gets shot. Angela calls 911. And Zach, you know, goes to cradle his baby or babies on the floor. And I don't even know what to say. Jeremiah, this is all your fault. You know, if you watched my video yesterday where I talked about it, I already went in detail. This is all Jeremiah's fault. He's the one that led trouble to Zach and Fatima's front door. Zach managed to talk down Big Repo when he and his crew were leaving. Jeremiah was the one that sucker punched him, and then the whole brawl started because of him. This is all his fault. So, Fatima is placed on a stretcher once the paramedics arrive, and she's taken to the hospital. Zach kisses her on the forehead, and, you know, she's taken away. Now, I don't know the exact order of operations in terms of if Zach crashes out before or after Fatima leaves. I'm willing to bet it is after, because I'm going to just say that I fully believe Zach did not leave Fatima's side from when he ran over to her on the floor until when the paramedics came, put her on the stretcher, and then took her to the hospital. This man has a 1,000% justifiable crash out, and he goes in on Jeremiah. And my favorite part is that one cop who I believe is the same cop that Nate knows. You know, the one who gave Zach the phone when he was locked up after, quote unquote, killing Jeremiah, and Nate talked to him. Yeah, this is the same cop. He looks like, oh my goodness. He looks as Zach goes in and starts wailing on his brother. But as I mentioned in my other video, thankfully Nate and Tony have more people to back him up to get Zach up off of him. That way it's like, look, no. We're not going. Look, we are not repeating season 3 again, Zach. We are not going through that. But yeah, Jeremiah got his tail whooped. So we go over to, you know, I want to just talk about this real quick because we only get this one other scene of Jeremiah. But he looks like he's in a, wait, is he in a hospital? Hang on, let me go. I got to go back to the trailer real quick because I know he's being like dragged away, and I can't tell if this is a hospital or what, but he's just freaking out. And I believe a cop, 1 or 2 cops, you know, have him restrained so he won't go anywhere. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, it looks like a hospital gown. And he's like, let me out of here. Let me out of here. Now, I'm guessing it is possibly, I mean, yeah, it's a police officer, but it's a hospital. My guess is rehab. I'm guessing it's rehab. They're taking him back. And at this point, he doesn't have the Band-Aid or whatnot over his forehead. So this is definitely later in the season. But yeah, Jeremiah is going to be put away, and this time until he gets clean. And yeah, if Zach did this, yeah, I completely understand. Like, no, none of this. I'm putting money down, and y'all just let him walk freely. Bump that. He's responsible for what happened to my wife and unborn child. Again, Jeremiah yet again puts things into action that put Fatima's life at risk. And this is on him. So dude, get clean. But hey, even though we only saw him like, what, 2 mini scenes in this promo, I can already tell Amir is going to do his thing in season 4, as always. As always. Now, let's go over to the hospital. Well, not about Jeremiah, but about Fatima. The same doctor who I believe is the same one we saw regarding Gladys, right? Yeah, I think this is the same doctor who treated Gladys when she was in the hospital on both. Wait, how many times was she in the hospital? Once, right? Yeah, once. No, actually twice, because when Jeremiah brought her over to Zach and Fatima's, and then when she eventually overdosed. Yeah, so she's telling Zach that, okay, yeah, she's lucky that she's doing well for a pregnant woman who got shot. And that's when Fatima's like, hey, just make sure you don't stress me out, trying not to stress me out. So I think that's a fun little twist, because when you look at what's going on in Sistas, and also, folks, some people are like, Jeremy, stop talking about Sistas. No. This is a spinoff. I will talk about Sistas in this Zatima promo trailer. So you look at what's going on currently in Sistas, where you got Fatima trying to take care and make sure Zach feels better because of everything he's dealing with, from almost getting killed himself by Hudson, then losing his daughter from Karen the same night, and a few days have passed and he's in a funk, and Zach is really closed off. But on the flip side, you have Zach taking care of his babies and trying not to stress Fatima out. But then again, it just goes to show that Zach, when he cares about somebody, he goes all in. Now, in a more comedic moment, and trust and believe, we needed something like this given the circumstances of what's going down in the show. Oh, also, yes, one of the biggest things that people are talking about, it appears that Crystal will be rocking her natural hair in this season, and it looks great. It looks great. So, well, then again, she's not the only one rocking this hairdo, but we will get to that later in the trailer. But essentially, good grief, we have Zach and Fatima at home. So she does make a full recovery, people. Fatima does make a full recovery. And Zach is like, can I rub your feet? Can I rub your booty? Yeah, okay. Can I? Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to get some sleep. Do you want me to sleep or not? I mean, I'll just do it until you doze off. Okay, fine, boy, put me to sleep. And then they go up the stairs. It's just fun because given all the drama and everything going on in both shows, just having a moment of levity and love between these two, I liked it. We needed something like this. We definitely needed something like this. Now, there is another moment where I don't know. I think this is a different scene, but Zach is kind of like, he's just, looking over Fatima's shoulder while she's sleeping. And I don't know if it's because he's like, Tima, can I get some? Or if he's just, doing too much, making sure that she's being well rested and, recovering from, her gunshot wound and whatnot. So just moments like this were needed because, to be blunt, shit gets serious real fast. So, out of nowhere, Zach gets served. And it turns out he's being sued for custody and child support of Michael. Now, we see Michael, Zach kisses him on the forehead, and then he's taken away by, child services and a couple of police officers. And Zach screams. And this is all happening. Look, I don't know if these events with Michael are going to be shown on screen. Okay. In the trailer, we see what appears to be something of a flashback. But then again, this could just be a dream sequence, because after Zach yells no, he just wakes up in the middle of the night like he had a nightmare. So it just shows that a lot of things have been happening, and it's weighing on him. And I like that we're seeing these, like I mentioned in my recent video about Sistas, will Fatima get jealous if Zach opens up to Karen, but not to her? And I said, I'm glad that the writers are allowing these characters to feel their feelings, especially after they've been through a bunch of traumatic events. So we see Zach and Fatima in court. So given that Fatima is sitting by his side, is this alluding to Fatima not already being a lawyer? I don't know. Or is she just there to support her man? That makes sense. Now across we see, I believe we see two ladies. Obviously the black woman is in relation to Heather most likely, and then the white woman with the red hair, she's her attorney. So I wonder if this is Heather's sister, because yet again I gotta make a nod to Sistas season 9. When Danny asked the question to Fatima that fans have been wondering, hey, who's watching Michael? And Fatima says something to the effect of, oh, well, sometimes he's with his aunt. Sometimes she gets to watch him. So I believe that this court session, or this court story, this custody storyline, does pretty much explain why Michael isn't in Sistas all the time, when he's not with Zach and Fatima, when he's not in school, when he's not with his nanny. He could be with his aunt. And B, this woman could be Heather's sister. So this could be Michael's aunt right here in the photo. And they're battling it out for custody. Now, why they're doing this, I don't know. I mean, didn't Zach already win custody? Yes. But it could be a lot of things. For one, what if Heather got wind of what occurred at Zach and Fatima's house with the gunshot and everything, the gun and the fight? That makes perfect sense as to why she can use this as an opportunity to try to fight back for custody. It's like, hey, say what you will about the way I parented my child, but at least he wasn't around this kind of violence and whatnot. My baby could have been killed. And then use that as grounds to try to get custody back. That makes complete sense. But yet again, if we are basing this off of what Courtney said about this season kind of taking place in between the events of Sistas, then when is Fatima going to start showing them? Some of them photos, she's really sporting a baby bump. So it's almost like they're speed running her pregnancy, so to speak. So I'm believing this is taking place earlier in the season. And keep in mind, like, just because we're going through these sequential events of Zatima, episodes 1 through 20 this season, that doesn't mean like all 20 episodes happen before the events of Sistas season 9, where she doesn't have a baby bump. So I'm willing to bet that these custody episodes probably take place late season 8, early season 9 Sistas. I'm just flipping a coin here. I don't know. But yeah, I'm guessing the court case goes down. Custody is kind of split. Now, I don't know about child support, though, because Zach ain't got no money in either show. Remember, Preston did bail out Rise Ventures, but that doesn't necessarily mean Zach has money in his pockets yet. Wait, did he ever cash that check or sign that paperwork with Preston and Bryce? I don't think he has. So yeah, he's still broke right now. All right, so I did see some fans kind of happy. It's like, yes, okay, get rid of Hayden's little kid. And this is low key. I'm not saying Fatima's gleeful about this. Heck no. But what I'm saying is, in a twisted cosmic way, her wish is kind of coming true. Remember what she told Andy a long time ago about her feel? Because Andy asked, "So, how are you dealing with this whole ordeal with Karen being pregnant with Zach's baby?" And Zach's like, "I don't know, Andy. It's like, I wanted to be the only woman to have his babies, you know?" And, well, Karen lost Zach's baby. Zach is possibly on the verge of losing full custody. So, she's kind of winning. It's kind of like in Mario Kart where Fatima was in last place, but she had that turtle shell. She tossed it and then knocked the first place person out of first place, put him in last place, and now she's rocking into the front. So Fatima, I guess your dream is coming true. Again, I'm not she didn't wish this on anybody. I'm talking about like in conjunction of what she told Andy as well as the fans' excitement over it. So yeah, but that's going to explain Michael's absence. Plus, if I remember correctly, we have not seen Michael in Zatima since season 1. Just putting that out there. So, I know y'all want me to talk about you know who, and we're going to get to that. But I want to lead up to that. You know what? I just want to ease into that. Now, we've already talked about a couple of patients in the hospital. You know, first being Jeremiah, and the next being Fatima for the gunshot. Spoiler alert, she's going to wind up back in the hospital. But another patient is unfortunately Connie, and she's getting some bad news from the doctors telling her that the cancer she has is spreading. Now, 2 key moments here. Number 1, we have a moment where it looks like she is crawling on the floor, and based on the illumination of the scene, is her house or is her apartment on fire or something, or what's going on? And then we go to another scene where it looks like we have Connie and she's over at Zach and Fatima's holding her as she's crying, and Zach is, consoling her as well. So this is probably when she reveals her diagnosis to them. And interestingly enough, her hair, it doesn't look like she's wearing the hair piece she was wearing at the hospital. So yeah, this is most likely later in the season, showcasing that Tony is staying true to his word regarding not telling anybody about the cancer. Now, I could be wrong here, but I'll say this. Now, there is a moment in the trailer where I'm going to jump to Leslie briefly, all right? But I have a whole section for her. Zach and Fatima wake up because they hear what sounds like a crash downstairs. And in the trailer, we overhear Fatima saying, "Leslie, she broke into my house." Now, they rush downstairs and see Fatima's wearing the same pink ensemble that she has when she's cradling Connie. And Zach, he goes to bed shirtless. So I'm thinking that it is possible Leslie wasn't the person that, quote unquote, broke into their home, but it could be Connie, coming there in the middle of the night. Possibly. I don't know for certain, but this could be what's going on. All right. Even though we do have this moment where it kind of sort of looks like Leslie looking through their doors. I don't know. All right. So from there, we go over to Belinda's place, and it looks like she's throwing Nate out for good. He's looking shocked as she's like throwing his clothes to the left. And we go over to Zach and Fatima's kind of in a neutral zone, but Lori is back. Similar to Michael, we have not seen Lori since season 1. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it the season 1 finale? She was only in a couple episodes, but she's finally back. And Nate, we got Nate, Lori, Zach, Fatima, Angela, and Belinda. And I'm guessing that Lori finds out about the fact that her husband has been messing around and staying with another woman. And it looks like Lori is about to jump Belinda, but Zach and Nate hold her back. Like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And Fatima's back in the, the back of the kitchen. Is like, nah, I can't deal with this. Like, nah. Because, before, remember when she caught Deja and Nate in the hot tub, and she had the baseball bat. Like, oh, you broke my nose. So, man, oh man, yeah, Belinda is apparently cutting things off with Nate this season, possibly. Now, as to whether or not Lori and Nate work things out, we just got to see. But hey, I'm glad she's back. So, moving on. Okay, this is a blink and you miss moment too. Bryce is over at Angela's house. I'm guessing that things are working out between the two. We don't get too much between them. But yeah, he is over at Angela's house. But on a less brighter note, we do see that apparently there is yet again some more friction between Zach and Bryce at Rise Ventures. Preston comes in to, break up a scuffle before it starts. So it seems that despite everything, there's still going to be some drama between Bryce and Zach in season 4. Hopefully it gets better, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, we also get a brief scene of Tony. I believe he's walking through like the hallway of the apartments in, Jeremiah and Connie's side of town. And he's looking back like, somebody's behind him or trying to get his attention. Don't know what's going on here, but I will say this much. I believe Tony on social media said, and this is way back, I'm talking like when season 3 ended, he mentioned how, hey, I know y'all are curious about what went down at the barbershop. If I remember correctly, wasn't it season 3, episode 18, the cliffhanger ending was that one thug breaking into the barbershop trying to rob it, and then he pulls out a gun, and then Tony rushes him, and then the episode ends, and we hear a gunshot. But we don't know what happened. So, in this particular season, we will get the follow-up on that. So, this could be an allusion to what we didn't get a follow-up for, or a conclusion for last season, because we had that episode 18 cliffhanger, and next thing you know, Tony's completely fine. He's meeting up with Connie in the park, and then that's when she reveals the cancer, and it's like, okay, but what's going on with the barbershop, man? Okay, so we are almost done here. I think there are 3 separate subjects to talk about. Now, number 1, Dr. Reed is back. And it looks like this could be the anger management class. Because I think that, look, going into before season 4, officially got announced in terms of return date, there were like only 2 to 3 things I knew about this season. Gone are the days where Actors Access and all these other sites would post full descriptions of, hey, here are the 22 new characters coming to the next season of Sistas or Zatima, and here are acting gigs, apply if you're interested. I don't know any of that stuff anymore. They don't do it. I guess they just keep it under wraps for the sake of spoilers. But one of the few things outside of a baby shower, a DJ for a baby shower, and Lori coming back, and an anger management course. This could be the situation. Because people are talking about, I know Zach ain't rushing at Dr. Reed. Like, how's that going to go now? This could be a therapy session / anger management class. That could be the situation here. Now, as who's this woman that's sitting down? I don't know. Could this be Heather? Hang on. Let me just try to zoom in here. I have no idea who this woman is, because this could be, I don't know, one of those situations where Heather kind of cleans herself up in an attempt to look more fit to be a mom and increase her chances of winning the custody battle. Now, let me freeze frame here. I don't know. It could be we only see like the side of her face. I don't know, folks. Maybe this could be Heather. I don't know. Maybe it could be. Maybe it could be. But if not, I don't know. Since this is allegedly an anger management class, it's possible Zach isn't the only person in the course, so this could be another person. I don't know, but my question is, what does Dr. Reed say that triggers Zach so much? Obviously, he knows what he's doing because you see how calm, cool, and collected he is as Zach approaches him. So my guess is that maybe Zach rushes him, but then he has a moment to go like, no, I don't want to handle this the old Zach way. Let me handle this, or at least attempt to try to handle it the calm Zach way. So I'm guessing that's what's going on. This must be an exercise where Zach's like, look, man, I don't have any anger management issues. But then Dr. Reed knows exactly what buttons to push to trigger Zach to cause a violent reaction. And Zach stops himself because he realizes that, oh, wait, okay, maybe I do have a problem. All right. And next up, well, I don't think I could put it off any longer. We got to talk about Leslie. Now, first things first, Malachi is not in this trailer. Let me repeat. Her husband, Malachi, the man obsessed with Fatima, is not in this trailer. Now, Brandon, as you know, well, you should by this point because the show is over 100 episodes in. The new soap opera Beyond the Gates, he portrays Martin in that series. And I cannot remember if Zatima season 4 was filmed before or after Beyond the Gates dropped. I forgot. So he could be in this season, but it probably won't be a significant role because of the dual projects he was working on. But then again, you know, if I remember correctly, they filmed this show in like less than 10 days. So it's possible that he's possibly, you know, probably in this season more than I think he is. Now, Leslie's on some lifetime thriller or drama film vibes. So Fatima, eventually after she heals, she's back at work. And she catches a glimpse out of her office window, or office wall, if you will, because remember in the law firm, most of the walls are made of glass. She's looking, and it's like that. Any of y'all watch the OG Rod Sterling Twilight Zone? What was that one episode called, like Mirror Image or something, where this one woman who's at a bus station thinks she's going crazy because she's seeing a duplicate of herself, and it turns out to be her from another universe or some crap like that, basically replacing her. That's kind of what's happening here. It's like, what in the world? I'll tell you, because Leslie walks by her window, looks in and smiles, and she's wearing the exact same dress. She has her hair the exact same way as Fatima. And Fatima has this look on her face that the look on her face is pretty much saying,
he copied my whole fucking flow. Word for word, bar for bar. Don't act like I...
Yeah, so Leslie is going off the deep end. And we have this moment that I'm like, oh my goodness. First of all, shout out to her actress, because I can tell she's going to put her all into this season. She is sitting alone in her bedroom. And as we zoom out from her face, she has a wall filled with photos of Ian, Fatima, and I couldn't tell if Zach is in some of those photos. I couldn't tell, but this woman is deranged. This is like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I'm going to parallel this to something else. Now, we have Leslie doing all this, and this is a warped version of obsessing over Fatima's life. Because this is, remember, if memory serves, she cheated, or she basically messed around with Malachi while he was with Fatima. So my question is Leslie upset? Has Leslie always been obsessed with Fatima in terms of wanting her life, or was this something instilled upon her by Malachi molding her into Fatima for so long? Is that I hope we dive into that more as we go into season, 4 next month. But I wanted to parallel this to something that was, well, done in a similar fashion, but in a romantic sense. Even though I remember some fans thinking it was kind of creepy. I believe it was Sistas season 3, where Zach said he had a friend who's a photographer and he borrowed the camera. Not only borrowed his camera, but learned how to take, different angles and whatnot. Because when Fatima was sleeping, he would take pictures of her. And then one morning when she woke up and went to the bathroom, she was like, what? Because the bathroom mirror was filled with pictures that Zach took when, she was asleep. And he did it in a way to showcase how beautiful she is, even when she's, knocked out. So, yeah, this is a twisted, demented version of that exact scenario. But this was, good Lord. Now, going back to the scene I talked about when I was addressing Connie. Now, when Zach and Fatima heard that crash and, Fatima's like, uh-oh, Leslie broke into my house. But it could have been Connie. Now, Leslie does seem to try to break into her house at some point, because we see Deja whooping somebody's ass. Now, based on the hair, it's like, I know she ain't beating Fatima like that. And I'm like, well, she probably could since Fatima is pregnant right now. But no, it seems like she's beating on Leslie. And that leads to a picture that I cannot talk about yet. That will be its own separate video. But yeah, I guess Deja is doing this because this was filmed when Jasmine Brown wasn't pregnant. So it looks like we're seeing more of the physical side of comedy when it comes to her character, because she's able to do these kind of things, unlike season 3. So yeah, she's putting the hurt on Leslie for, probably trying to break into the house. Now, going to another scene, Angela is in the law firm too. I believe this is right after Fatima is in shock after Leslie passed by her office, and Angela's like, wait, are you all right? And then that leads into the parking garage. So Angela's like, girl, this is getting out of hand. And Fatima says a line of dialogue that has me going, Fatima, have you learned nothing from the events of season 3? Zach cannot find out about this. And I'm thinking, this is probably a situation where Leslie did something to her car, I'm guessing. I don't know exactly what it is, but that's probably what's happening here. And from there, we see another day, because Fatima's wearing a different outfit. And it looks like Fatima's caught off guard. So did Leslie roll up on her in the parking garage? And also, I'm going to throw it out here, because remember, we didn't see Malachi in the trailer. When Angela is telling Fatima about this is getting out of hand, and she's like, Zach cannot know about this. It could be that Malachi left her something. I don't know. It could be. And then we go over to this other scene where Fatima's caught off guard. This could be Leslie or Malachi. We don't know who, but somebody apparently gets the jump on her. And it possibly leads to her being sent to the hospital again. And Zach says this, look, I'm not screaming or fighting, but I'm also not negotiating. And Angela's in the background with a kind of, that twisted, contorted face of hers when it's like, Now, I'm thinking Angela probably told Zach. And if she did, bravo. Because this is a massive improvement over the beginning of season 3. When Jeremiah, he tossed or knocked Fatima to the ground and robbed her. And Angela's like, I'm calling the police. No. We can't call the police. No, I'm not going to the hospital. No, Zach can't know about this. Angela's like, look, Fatima, I'll be damned if I'm caught in the room with your man throwing another tantrum and I'm running across it for my safety. Nuh-uh. Zach is going to know about this. Hallelujah. We do not have another season of Zach being kept in the dark about something he needs to be in the light about. He needs to be made aware of. So I don't know how this situation is going to get handled, but I'll say this much. I wouldn't be surprised if Malachi gets murdered this season. I don't know how, or hell, I want to throw it out here. Leslie might get pushed so far off the deep end by her husband constantly comparing her to Fatima and wanting her to be Fatima that she winds up killing her husband. That could be it, possibly. I don't know. But we'll just have to find out. We'll just have to wait and see. And speaking of murder, I forgot to mention this earlier in the video. Given that Fatima got shot, I think it is safe to assume that when, not a matter of if, but when Madam finds out her cousin got shot, Repo and his crew are done for. Repo and his crew are done for. Enough said. Now, to what extent Leslie's going to go to, I guess, take Fatima's life? I mean, not kill her, but take her life, so to speak. We'll just have to wait and see. Because remember, Malachi told Angela, like, Zach and, Zach being with Fatima and them having a baby doesn't matter. He's going to get her back. Nah, something's going to happen to him. Now, the final thing to talk about, folks, we are winding down here. And I wanted to save this for last because it seems like a happy moment. Everybody's over at Zach and Fatima's house for dinner. We got Bryce, Angela, Zach and Fatima. Preston and Deja's at the table too. Surprisingly, Deja has been welcomed. So I don't know exactly when in the season this is occurring. Angela's wearing an orange dress that I don't believe she's wearing at any other point. Oh, actually, yeah, I forgot. This trailer is for the first half of the season. So the first 10 episodes. So this could be, I don't know, maybe around the mid-season finale, give or take. But this is probably like a celebratory dinner after Fatima gets out of the hospital from the gunshot wound, I'm guessing. So, yeah, everybody's all smiles. And, yeah, we needed a moment like this. And to end off the trailer, Zach says something like, "I'll never forgive myself if anything happened to you." And Fatima's like, "Look, I'm here with you every step of the way." And that pretty much defines their relationship. So, folks, this was a lengthy breakdown, but it was, if I do say so myself, very damn thorough. Very thorough. I hope that season 4 is a massive step up from season 3. I know season 3 was quite divisive. And when I say quite divisive, I mean, like, I was in the very, very small minority who didn't really rock with that season, and I stand by what I said. I stand by what I said. I'm going to be honest though. I don't really know if I'm going to tweet this season that much, just because last season just kind of soured my taste. There was just so much negativity towards my thoughts on the season. People I had to block, because look, I only block when you like curse at me, call me names and stuff like that. It's the internet, have tough skin. There's a difference between disagreeing and being flat out disrespectful. So I don't even know if I want to go through that again. But I will say that based on this trailer, it seems like the writers are taking some of my I'm not saying they took it because of me, but it seems like some of the things that I disliked about season 3 are being rectified in season 4. Based on the trailer. I could be wrong, but based off what I'm seeing here, it seems like some of the same mistakes they are not going to make. But yeah, folks, this trailer was certainly worth the wait. I consider this an early birthday present. Yeah, I know the show doesn't come back till September 11th, but hey, the trailer came out before my birthday, and I'm happy about that. And since this season ends October 9th, I don't imagine we'll get the back half, the first half of the season ends October 9th. We'll get the back half probably, early 2026, give or take. But if you made it this far into the video, you're a trooper. I appreciate you. Please help this video spread. I need as many people to comment as they can. Tell me some of your favorite moments from the trailer, some theories you may have that, you want to talk about. Maybe you want me to do a video on. Share this video around. Put it on Twitter. Put it on Instagram, Facebook, wherever. Take the link and send it around. Look, let's try to get 100K on this one. 100K views. Let's make it happen. Make sure you subscribe because, like I said, I'm trying to hit 300K before my birthday if possible. And that's all I have. So to DeVal, Crystal, Mr. Courtney, Nate, Tony, Bryce, Angela, Leslie, Preston, Deja, everybody. It looks like y'all did a fine job with this one, and I can't wait to see how things unfold next month. So with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in the next video.